Are you ready for the tea? The dollar store tea? Hi YouTube, it is Angie here, and thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you're new to my channel, I post what I like to call real lifestyle videos, which personal finance, mental health, cleaning, DIYs, all kinds of stuff. So thank you so much for joining me. So if you're like me, you are a frequent user of the dollar store. Every social media platform I kind of has a different vibe for me, and on Twitter I'm very political. And I once got into it on Twitter with this environmentalist that was like, dollar stores are terrible and poor people should just use buy nothing groups for everything. Yeah, we had words. Putting the onus on the individual consumer to be as environmentally friendly as possible when there are billionaires literally polluting things by going to space just for funsies is like, it's not a vibe. Not here. Not gonna fly on this channel. I am a frequent user of the dollar store, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes because I want to save my money and put a little bit more to savings or spoil my cat, because like, isn't that why so many cat owners are working and trying to save money, is to give their cats the best life possible? Dollarama recently announced that they were going up to $5, which to me is a lot, but inflation is a lot, and we're not going to talk about inflation. I am kind of excited to see what kind of products they can bring in for $5, because when they upped things to $4, I was really skeptical. I was like, is it just going to be like more expensive dollar store quality things, or is it going to be like stuff that is like a good deal for $4? And I found that a lot of the stuff is a good deal. Make sure you comment below if you agree with any of these, if you disagree with any of these, and what your favorite things to buy at the dollar store are. I've got my notes here. I'm still too poor to own a separate camera, so all of the footage is on my phone, and I need to record on my phone, so I'm going to be reading off of these pieces of paper, so bear with me. So I love the bamboo trend. I love Scandinavian design. I love natural light woods. Bamboo is like one of the most sustainable products out there. It grows super, super fast, unlike other forestry products, and so it is a great option if you're looking to be environmentally friendly and look chic. It's on trend. So they have a bunch of different kind of bamboo items that I saw. Like, they're really like getting into like the bamboo organization thing, and I'm totally into it. So I was in the kitchen section and I saw this bamboo drawer organizer. I think it looks way more expensive than the price tag. You could use it for a drawer organizer anywhere, like in your bathroom or in an office. I know we're all a fan of the home edit, but let's be honest, their products are expensive. I recently moved last year and I really underestimated the power of a tiny bowl in my kitchen. And I didn't have like the fancy tiny bowls, and they're so good for mixing sauces and like mixing spice blends and things like that, especially if you're cooking a lot at home to try and save on groceries or try and save on eating out. These are kind of cheaper stainless steel, but I was like, you know what, 4 for $4, like that's not bad at all. And then I went into the glassware aisle and I found these pinch bowls, and it was 3 instead of 4, but they were better quality because they're glass. They aren't the cheap flimsy stainless steel, and they were only $1.50. For that price you could get 6 pinch bowls and still be paying less than the stainless steel ones. So if you're gonna get pinch bowls, look in the glassware section. Okay, this is something that you don't know that you need in your life until you have it: an egg timer. You may be one of those people who has a skill that I do not have and magically know how to perfectly time your hard-boiled eggs. But if you are in the category of the rest of us who struggle to know how to soft boil, medium, or hard boil an egg and have to Google it every time, there's lids involved, ice water, and just all kinds of action going on, it's very confusing. This is so worth like the few dollars that you're gonna spend on it. I bought one of these at Bianca Amore's liquidation center, which is just like a liquidation center here in Alberta. Basically, you drop this into the pot with your eggs and it changes color. It will indicate whether your eggs are soft, medium, or hard boiled, depending on how the color has changed in the little egg thing. The less things I have to Google while I'm cooking, the better. Cabinet shelves are so expensive on Amazon. This is only $4. Yes, it's a little bit flimsier quality than the things you might find on Amazon, but I like these better than Dollar Tree personally because I find sometimes with the wire shelves things fall through and like it can be awkward to like balance things on the wire. I have one currently underneath my sink. Eventually I would like a special under sink shelf, but in the meantime, like this works great and I'm like super happy to have it, and it's really helped with my kitchen organization, and for $4, why not? When I was growing up, my mom always drained pasta and vegetables and whatever she was boiling with a lid on the pot, but I am far clumsier than my mother and she will attest to this, and I always would spill everything everywhere, and I was like, I just need to buy a colander. But I live in an apartment, and I've lived in an apartment for a while, and they take up space. So that's where this collapsible colander comes in. It folds up nice and flat. I keep mine in underneath my oven with my cookie sheets. It also expands to the width of your sink. And for $4, it's like perfect if you live in a small space or you just want to save space in your kitchen for other fun stuff. Baking dishes, they're useful for freezer meals, they're useful for potlucks, they're useful for camping. And at the grocery store, I always get sticker shock because they're like $4, $5, $6 sometimes. Whereas you can get them for like $1.50 at the dollar store. So why not just get your foil dishes at the dollar store? Lunch bags, I haven't compared these to grocery stores, so y'all have to let me know if this is actually a good deal or not. They're $2 for 30. When I was poor and I didn't have a popcorn maker, but I still wanted popcorn and I couldn't afford microwave popcorn, I would just like make air pop popcorn in lunch bags. You can just Google it, and it's like super easy and way cheaper than the microwave popcorn, and probably healthier too. It's got less preservatives and stuff like that in it. Like you can make 30 bags of microwave popcorn for the cost of kernels and $2 for the paper bags. So that's an option. I never need more than one magic eraser like a year. I don't live with children. I'm not that dirty. I just find like magic erasers are very specific, and so I only ever want to buy one. Dollarama has heard me and they understand, and so they have a single magic eraser for $1.25. It's always nice to have on hand just in case you do need it, because magic erasers are so good for certain things. Like I find they're really, really good for getting tea or coffee stains out of mugs, for example, but I never need more than one. I keep a scrub brush in my shower because of a TikTok hack that I saw where you put dish soap and a little bit of water into the scrub brush and you keep it in your shower, and then while your conditioner's setting or while you're just hanging out in your shower, you can scrub the walls because there's dead time in your shower anyway, and you never have to scrub your tub. It's amazing. I was really excited to find these organic bags because now that plastic bags are going the way of the dodo, I need plastic bags for my kitty litter. Yes! Oh, like environmentally friendly, and there's 20 of them. And then I got to the till and they were $4 for 20 bags. I cannot pay $4 for 20 bags. Maybe I'll like look into getting some paper bags or something like that, so that way it's like still compostable but not nearly as much of a sticker shock. Kleenexes, when I was a maid of honor for my best friend's wedding in the fall, I had a whole pack of these. I had like a little bridesmaid kit, and these are so handy to have in your purses, your travel bags, your backpacks. They're really great for weddings and funerals and any other events that you might have. They're like $1.75 and you get like 8 little packs, and it's just nice because then you don't have to carry like a whole bunch of Kleenexes with you, but you're always prepared. So I was talking to my mom about this video and I was like, yeah, they have wool dryer balls at Dollarama, and she's like, what? The dryer balls at Sage Essential Oils and in a lot of other wellness stores are pretty expensive. They've kind of gone down in price now that they're less novel. I mean, wool dryer balls are wool dryer balls as far as I'm concerned. So getting them from the dollar store, like way cheaper than like paying 20 bucks or 30 bucks for a few wool dryer balls at a holistic wellness store or something like that. So if you don't know what a wool dryer ball is, it does the same thing as like a fabric softener. It can scent your clothes. You can put essential oils on it, and it's a natural alternative to that. And then also the balls, they like aerate out the clothes and help them dry faster in the dryer. Over the door hooks and hangers, Dollarama does have a bigger selection, but Dollar Tree is cheaper, and I do find that the hooks are pretty much the same quality. If you ever need to hang something, don't buy like the $20 things on Amazon or from Walmart. Like, go to the dollar store. It's so much cheaper there. There's a huge selection and you're gonna find what you're looking for. If you need to hang something, hang out at the dollar store. Vacuum storage bags I am a huge fan of. They are great for small spaces. They're great for storing winter coats, storing linens. They're great for keeping a bunch of small things together like craft supplies and things like that. I use them to store my camping supplies, and it's like, or clothes that I'm keeping just in case I fit into them again. And I just think vacuum bags are the most wonderful thing ever. That being said, I've tried dollar store vacuum bags and they have always failed me. They've always like gotten a hole in it and then everything just expands, and I'm like, well, what's the point of this vacuum bag then? Also, I find that sometimes they're a small size, and like usually when I'm using vacuum bags, I'm using them because I'm trying to store big things. So I'll put a link down below to a set that I found on Amazon. It was around $20 last time I looked, and you get like a ton of vacuum bags. So definitely check that out. And they're like huge. They're massive sizes, and they also have like assorted sizes too if that's more your jam. Pouchless hairbands. I hate getting my hair caught in hair ties. I'm like, it's 2022. Have they not designed a hair tie that doesn't snag in your hair? And Goody ouchless bands I find work really well. I can't verify if they're good for thick hair. My hair is really thin, but I do find that the Goody ouchless bands work pretty good, and you can find them here versus at the drugstore or something like that where they're a little bit more expensive. I loved these cute little bamboo lid organizers. I just think these would be so cute in a kitchen or a pantry, organizing something, or organizing your makeup or your bobby pins or something on your dresser, little trinkets and things like that. Makeup brushes, honestly, like I'm probably gonna get roasted for this in the comments, but unless you're a professional makeup artist, I feel like most makeup brushes, like the quality is like negligible in how the makeup is going to look on your face. So I've used like dollar store and liquidation center makeup brushes for years, and they work just fine in my opinion. So this is a Jade Roller. I looked into the science of this, and it is a thing, but the science is like kind of like, okay, yeah, it can depuff, but mostly because it's cold on your face, and that's why they chose like a stone to do it. I mean, I found it relaxing to do, kind of up the benefits. I like didn't want to invest in like a really expensive jade or rose quartz roller. So what I did was I bought this one at the dollar store for $4, and then I kept it in my freezer, and I used it as like basically kind of a dual thing where you can ice your face and then you can also roll. And I just found it really relaxing and stuff. That being said, keeping it in my freezer did make the jade bead shrink and expand as it heated and cooled, and it eventually fell off. But I'm like not willing to spend more than that on something that's not really proven to work wonders. $4 for a jade roller might be worth it. Cotton pads and cotton balls, dollar store is where it's at. Cheap, you get tons of them. They're always in stock. That's all I have to say about that. Dr. Scholl's insoles. This may be because I'm plus size and I have a little bit more extra weight on my frame, and I also like have always just had really messed up feet, but I love insoles. They are so underrated. I don't care if this makes me sound old. I love insoles. I think there should be insoles in every single pair of shoes that you own, especially when you can get them for this price at the dollar store. In my bridesmaid kit that I was mentioning earlier, I actually brought some of the heel inserts that I got at the dollar store, and my best friend was super grateful for them, and some of the bridesmaids were really grateful for the heel grips I had as well, because, you know, wedding day shoes, not so comfortable, and it was just really nice to have on hand. And they can be really expensive if you buy them in the store, but I mean, they have like Dr. Scholl's brand at the dollar store, like why not? Floss Picks. I struggle to spend more than $2 on Floss Picks because I know that that's what I can get them for at the dollar store. Floss is a floss is a floss, in my opinion, and I just think that they're one of the things that you can kind of cut costs on and get at the dollar store, and it works just as well. Litter catcher mats. I have 2 of these in front of my litter box, and they aren't super huge, and my cat is pretty messy because she only has 3 legs. So she tries her best, but she's a little messy in the litter box. I do find that these catch quite a bit of litter. They're nice and cheap as well. Like you don't have to spend, you know, $10 or $15 like you might at a pet store. I also found like this cat grass. Like cat grass is usually like $10 at a pet store. Like you can't even buy like wheatgrass seeds for $2.50, let alone like the entire kit. So I thought that that was a good deal as well. I've only seen these in one Dollarama that I've been to though. This hardware organizer I think is great for craft supplies. I use mine to organize my batteries actually, and it works great because it's got all the different size compartments. Probably makes some purists angry, but Honestly, like if you don't have a toolkit and you just need a tool for like a random job, a lot of times the dollar store tools will do the trick. Are they the best quality? No. Like usually I would recommend thrifting them because that's a good way to get good quality tools for cheap, is to just check on Facebook Marketplace or something. But if you need like a random tool, like an X-Acto knife or something for a random like DIY, the dollar store is the way to go. I get my cleaning vinegar from Dollar Tree. Wish that the Totally Awesome brand put the percentage acidity on the cleaning vinegar so that way I knew how high it was, but usually cleaning vinegar is a higher percentage acid, so that way it cleans better. That being said, if you're like me and you look into non-toxic cleaners, then I strongly recommend looking at Dollarama to get your vinegar. I saw this 4 liters for $2.25. Like, that's pennies. That's so cheap. And it's so much cheaper than other cleaners. It's a great all-purpose cleaner. I don't love my entire place smelling like pickles. I got this tip from Clean My Space, where you just take like old like lemon peels and stuff and put them in the vinegar, and it kind of pickles the lemon peels so they don't go bad. I would just put the lemon peels into the jar, and then eventually it made my cleaning vinegar smell like lemon rather than pickles, which is very nice. And the lemon actually, I think, made it more powerful too, like the lemon essential oils. Lock deicer, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. Sometimes here in the Great White North, if you wash your car or if something melts and then all of a sudden it gets really cold the next day, water can freeze in your lock and it can basically lock you out of your car. So for $1.25, it is peace of mind and you'll always be glad you have it with you. Don't get dollar store light bulbs. Don't make the mistake that I made. I talked to my mom about this too. I had an appliance light bulb go out, and I've never bought a dollar store light bulb and have it go well for me. Like, they always flicker or they burn out really fast, and I just think like it's only a few dollars more to go to like Walmart or Home Depot or someplace like that and get like a package of light bulbs that are probably more energy efficient too, which will probably save you money on power in the long run. But my mom also said that she's never had a good luck with light bulbs from the dollar store either, so that's something to keep in mind. I bought the play foam on a whim because I've always wanted to play with it, but I didn't know what it felt like. I still have it. This is like from a few weeks ago, and I just think it's the most wonderful like mindfulness tool. It's really tactile. It's really grounding if you struggle with like being present in the moment. And I also like just really like it to fidget with as well. I haven't kept this in like a Ziploc or anything, and it's still like pretty sticky and stuff, and I just think it's like so much fun to play with. Magnetic bag clips. I will never forgive MasterChef at Canadian Tire for charging me $12 for 10 magnetic bag clips that ended up breaking within 6 months of me having them, and then finding 6 magnetic bag clips for only a few dollars at the dollar store that were way better. I have a small space, and so I'm always a fan of things that I can stick to my fridge rather than keeping in a drawer and taking up space, and these ones work just fine. Me and MasterChef, not on good terms. Those bag clips, I can't forget. Shoe organizers, so I saw these. They're kind of ugly in my opinion, but I think if you are looking for function rather than aesthetics, these are perfectly fine. They retail for much higher on Amazon, and this is 4 for $4, so you could organize 4 pairs of shoes for $4. I think this is great if you like are like me and you only have a few pairs of shoes. I think I'm gonna go back and get these eventually, but I just like don't have the money to buy them right now. Has anyone tried this collapsible bucket? I feel like this would be so handy for camping and like to have in your car just in case and like things like that, but I'm like wary of a bucket that's collapsible from the dollar store. I'm like, do I trust that it'll hold up? Do I trust that it will leak and stuff like that? Like, I'm just worried. I'm like, how's the quality? So if you've tried it, let me know. These storage containers with lids, honestly, I haven't had very good experiences with these in the past. They're definitely a lot cheaper than like the Sterilite or Rubbermaid containers that you find at other stores, but at the same time you get what you pay for in terms of quality. I find that they crack. I got actually a ton of Sterilite containers because they only had like a few little cracks on the side, and it was like 12 Sterilite containers for like $70 or something on Amazon. And I have more containers than I could ever need in my small apartment space, and like just the lids, like the edges are cracked. If you have not looked at used deals on Amazon, a lot of times the cosmetic damage is on the box, and even if it is on like the item itself. If it's something like a storage container where you don't care if there's a small crack on the lip or whatever, you can get them for really cheap, and this plastic is much better quality. I wouldn't recommend buying plastic from here unless you can't afford anything else. This amount of hydrogen peroxide was $2.50 at Dollarama, and then I went to Dollar Tree and I saw a very similar amount for only $1.50. So if you're like a real penny pincher and you want to pick up some hydrogen peroxide, definitely check out Dollar Tree over Dollarama. That being said, hydrogen peroxide is much cheaper at the dollar stores than it is at like a pharmacy or a grocery store or things like that. So that's usually where I get my rubbing alcohol and my hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is great for getting out blood stains if you menstruate, but be careful because it can bleach some fabrics, so you always want to test it on an inconspicuous spot first. Wire baskets, they're $4, and I saw some very similar ones at Dollar Tree. So honestly, like if you're looking for these kind of like wire baskets, like the quality seemed pretty similar, and they were cheaper at the Dollar Tree because they were only $1.50. That being said, these types of wire baskets still much cheaper than you would find at a HomeSense or a Walmart. Either way, you'd be saving money. I really like white face towels. They just make me feel like I'm at a spa or something. And these ones, like, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of scratchy. They aren't very good quality. I bought like 12 of them, and I just use them for my face instead of a loofah in the shower, and I just love them. I saw Chic on the Cheap, who I really like following, and you should definitely go check out her channel if you haven't already. She did a video about making your place look more expensive, and she like rolled up the face towels and like had them displayed in a little basket in her bathroom like a spa, and I just think that looks so chic and so expensive, and I love it. That being said, at Dollar Tree they did have microfiber ones where it was 3 for $1.50. So if you're okay with the microfiber, then Dollar Tree is cheaper. Fire starters, these are $1.25 for 12. They make starting a fire so much easier. People get like weirdly proud about like their ability to start a fire and like weirdly defensive. You might as well use the help if it's like gonna make your life easier. So just get a pack of fire starters, have it on hand if you're at a barbecue or a campfire or something like that. They just make life so much easier. Why struggle? Why struggle? You can also make your own DIY fire starters for pretty cheap. I found this out through the prepping community. So you can take used toilet paper rolls and stuff them with dryer lint. Dryer lint is highly flammable apparently. And then I think people use wax paper, I'm not sure, and they kind of tie it up like a little Tootsie Roll or something. And it's supposed to be like a great fire starter, and it's with stuff that you would probably throw away or would be garbage anyway. I thought these cute tea and sugar jars were like really cute for the kitchen. I think they look chic, I think they look modern, and I think they look like something you could get at HomeSense for way more. These are like really good quality planters, honestly. Like something like this at Home Depot goes for a lot more. And I really like that they have the self-watering feature. Dollar store containers I find are kind of problematic because they don't have holes in them. I would always recommend getting a container with drainage holes because it just allows the plants to take as much moisture as they need, and it makes sure that you don't get root rot and things like that. So these are a really great option, and they have them in so many fun colors. I love them. I have a few of these on my balcony and they've stood up really, really well. These are really good quality, and I think they're like the perfect example of something that Dollarama can bring in for $4. I wouldn't recommend buying your seeds here. You can get some good garden quality things here. Like the trowels will bend depending on which trowel you get, so make sure you're getting a really good quality one with a wooden handle and like really thick steel. But like things like garden twine and twist ties and like seed starters and things like that, wonderful place to buy them, a lot cheaper than you might get them somewhere else. I don't recommend getting your seeds here or getting like these planted pots because you do get what you paid for in terms of seed quality, and so if you actually want it to germinate and like be like a healthy like good plant, it's worth your time to go to a store that has seeds that are not from the dollar store and to get them that way. That being said, if you can't afford seeds at other stores that are like $2 or $3 a package, then the dollar store seeds are an option. You just might not get the same germination rate. I love these Rubbermaid take-alongs. I recently declared Tupperware bankruptcy, and I strongly recommend if you've got a bunch of mixed Tupperware containers. I use them for storage now, or I gave some of them away. And then I went to the dollar store and I just like stocked up on these. These don't leak. They have a snap lid and they have them in so many different sizes. I love these. I think they're great. I love that they are available at the dollar store now. I I really like these nice trays and plates for entertaining or for grouping things in your house and making things look a little bit more nice and expensive. You could also take some of these trays and like spray paint them or paint them whatever color you'd like. I've seen some people do like swirl marble art on these with some paint, and I think that they're a lot cheaper than what you would find at home decor stores and things like that. Drawer organizers and baskets. This is definitely the place to go if you're going to organize your drawer. I recently organized one of the only drawers I have in my kitchen, and it's not like super organized, but it is definitely better than it was before, which was a giant mess. They have decent sized buckets and baskets now. I remember when Dollarama was kind of lower priced, and so they were only able to bring in like cheap buckets and baskets, but now they're getting some like pretty nice ones, like with nice patterns on them, and they're a decent size. So that's really a good option if you're looking for a bucket. And the Schmidt brand Aqua watering system. I'm looking at getting some of these for when there's a heat wave, because sometimes like with my mental health I might not water my garden as much as I need to, and also like if it's really hot outside, I like the idea that my plants can get all the water they need from a self-watering system. So I'm looking at making my own with some pop bottles, but I did have these on my Amazon wish list, 5 or 6 of them for like 20 or 30 bucks, whereas these ones are ceramic and they're like a great price as far as I'm concerned, $3 for 2 of them. So that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry that this was a longer video, but I just had lots of products that I wanted to talk about and share with you. What are your favorite dollar store products, and do you disagree with anything that I've said in this video? I would love to know. Thank you so much for joining my corner of the internet today. It's been lovely to have you here, even if you just dropped by for this video. Remember to take life one step at a time, and we're all just doing the best we can, and your best is good enough. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!